So this piece is called Don't Call It That, It's Not Love. Hi, my name's Tiffany. He says his name is Sean. He is heavy set, wearing this white and black as if to sharpen his edges. It's nice to meet you. He smiles at me. His eyes are like these compact, dark beads. So about the project, I was thinking like we can do this newscast kind of thing. And that is how we meet, through a history project. You messaged him on Gmail because you absolutely refused to get a Facebook. Hey, Sean, did you talk to Tom yet? I emailed him, but he hasn't responded. And then he says, don't worry your pretty head over it. And you freak out even more because, oh my gosh, what did he just say? You write back, right, so could you message him on Facebook? And then you throw in a, because I refuse to get Facebook smiley face because you think that'll make him smile again, that'll make him call you cute again. You end up getting a Facebook because your project may suck and never go on Gmail. And then the project's over, and it is spring break, and you have a Facebook, and a guy who thinks your face is pretty to talk to all day. And 2 years later, you will still be regretting every damn hour you spent messaging him and slowly falling in love with the vague idea of him and his words, like he messaged you suddenly after hours of cheesy compliments and you exhausting virtually every topic. Bunny versus golden retriever, the definition of morality, the hotness of Frank Bruni, in hopes of him saying that cheesy sweet thing again. He would say suddenly after 9 hours, it's your bedtime smiley face. Like he worried about you and your bedtime, though you'd also make it really obvious. Yawn, my head hit the keyboard, sorry, sad face. And then he replied, not used to staying up late. And then you think, oh my God, he notices these things about me. You look for him at the door because, oh my gosh, it's the first day back from spring break and this is the first time you'll see him in this new light. He comes into class wearing this white blank shirt that kind of matches the pasty classroom walls, and he doesn't look like he'd fit into a knight's slim armor, but it doesn't matter because he looks for you when he walks in. He puts his chin in his hand. You roll your eyes, but you smile and mouth, stop, stupid. You're supposed to be going over the classical error test you just got back, not staring at me stupidly from the other side of the room. I mean, you're trying to read Mozart yourself and remember what his Lacrimosa sounded like, but you can just hear Sean saying that he can't take his eyes off of you, and that's becomes somehow sweeter than Mozart. And suddenly Miss Shemazov calls out, Sean, you both jerk up in your seats. Why are you staring into Vincent's eyes all googly-eyed? And of course the class laughs, and Vincent, the guy next to him, laughs, and you see Sean, for the first and last time ever, color the slightest bit. No one next to you says, hey, nice boyfriend. You say, what? No, he's not. But inside you think, oh my gosh, really? Smiley faces, hearts. Those were the better days. One day as you both go up the escalator because you ask him to walk you to English class so your friends could see you together, and because it seems like a couplish thing to do, you realize that when you stop rambling, the conversation stops. No, it isn't even a conversation. It is you talking, him listening. You even ask at one point, Sean? He looks at you, his pupil a bead in a horrifyingly blank expanse of whiteness. Do you have anything to contribute to the conversation? Like, doesn't he have things to say? He shrugs. It is 5 minutes after English ended, and he isn't here to pick you up like he's always here to pick you up. This is ridiculous. How are you even supposed to move your legs without him? And you're exiting, and suddenly you see him on the floor with his friends playing Yu-Gi-Oh cards. He looks at you, smiles, and waves. Later you get home and you just need to calm down and think by yourself, but instead you go impulsively on Facebook, and your mind is this hazy fog that allows your subconscious to gloss over the fact that you're becoming increasingly clingy and you're trying to change him. Gloss over these facts because for this kind of love to exist, you have to be lying to yourself at least a little bit. And you're almost blindingly messaging him at your computer, almost entirely strung along by your heart. You like him, but not him, but his words. You type, how could you just leave me there? I saw you on the half floor. God, so busy with your friends and cars. Oh God, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I think we should stop. I have to stop. I'm so sorry. Later you'd imagine it to be kind of like Gatsby's story, but there was no tragedy about your story because there was nothing in the first place. And you can't make a tragedy out of nothing. You're just a foolish girl who fell in love with the words and liked them so much you tried to shove a boy into a knight's armor, and he bled when his skin cut into the metal because he just didn't fit. He walks in on Monday, avoids your row, goes around the room to avoid having to cross your row. No one next to you says, what happened to your boyfriend? You flinch, what? He was never anything. Never anything, always everything. And later you see him at the cafeteria playing cards with his friends. But God, you forget your gym clothes in your history class and you run back to get them. And then you see your gym clothes and then you see Sean and your eyes meet and his eyes are saying, you broke me, you tried to change me, you tried to put words in my mouth. Your mentor, Stacy, was among the first who proposed the idea that maybe he didn't think that every time he saw you. So like you're basically doing the same thing to him again, stuffing your words into his mouth so much at a time he regurgitates them. So they're your words. You sucked him, you broke him. He might have forgiven you, but I haven't forgiven myself. You're right, I did. And every time I'm with somebody I kind of like or somebody that kind of likes me, I suddenly hear an echo of Sean Tiffany's voice blaming me for everything. And of course it's true, I did. I'm sorry, and I can't do that to somebody else. So I'll just never love again. That'll solve things. Ever since then, I've been so angry at myself for everything I did, and bitterness is the only emotion I've allowed myself to feel about Sean ever since. But in writing this for the first time, I reminded myself of all the other emotions I felt with him, and I allowed myself to feel them again. So thank you.